Shalom. Shalom. Giving all praise to Yahawah, Qadash. Shalom to the 144,000 out there and the rest of the elect. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, "And Adding On to Brands Plucked Out of the Fire," to put up by Daily Edification 4, which is, you see on the picture there, it's Apostle Gabar. So I was watching some of it, not even 22 minutes long. He's doing his walk, and he read out of scripture. I'll bring it up in a minute. Okay, Zechariah 3. And he read the second verse, which is, and I'll come back and read the first verse. Zechariah 3, verse 2. And Yahawah said unto Satan, Yahawah, rebuke thee, O Satan, even Yahawah that have chosen Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, so it's another way of saying Israel. Rebuke thee. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now, ultimately, that fire represents the nuclear fire. And the elect will be brands that will be plucked out of the fire. And even if we were in the fire, we wouldn't get burned. Remember the account of Daniel. So I'll read from the first verse. And the first thing that came to mind was the book of Obadiah. Obadiah 1, verse 18. Now, this word brand is the same thing as the flame. Joseph as a flame is the same thing. It means the same thing, but the wording is different. It's two separate Hebrew words. So let me read the first verse. So this is Joshua the high priest. By the way, we were taught and do believe that that's high priest Ariah. And he showed me Yahawashi, rather, the high priest standing before the angel of Yahawah, and Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. Second verse again. And Yahawah said unto Satan, Yahawah rebuke thee, O Satan, even Yahawah that hath chosen Jerusalem, rebuke thee. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? So you can't do nothing to Joshua the high priest because he's special unto the Most High. He's a brand. So now what I did was I went to Obadiah, but since I'm here, I'm gonna click on the word brand. And the word is awad. And the word means brand, fire brand. Now it's found in the scriptures 3 other times. Isaiah 7, verse 4. And say unto him, take heed and be quiet, fear not, neither be faint-hearted. Because things are going to happen to test us. So you can't be faint-hearted. For the two tails of these smoking firebrands for the fierce anger of raising with Syria and of the son of Ramaliah. There's Isaiah 7:4. I'm not going to go all into it. Amos 4, verse 11. And this precept right here, Amos 4:11, gives you a better idea of what it means by a brand or a firebrand. We are firebrands that will be plucked out of the fire. The fire ultimately is the nuclear fire in America. When Yahawashi spoke about the place where the worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched, he's talking about Babylon the Great on fire, and the elect being delivered out of that fire. So I'm in Amos 4, verse 11. I have overthrown some of you as the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah, if you go to Genesis 19, it speaks about fire, brimstone coming down from heaven. And ye were as firebrand plucked out of the burning, yet have ye not returned unto me, saith Yahawah. So this is an account of the Most High delivering a person or persons and them going back to being wicked. See, the ones that are written in the Lamb's Book of Life, they're the elect and they're not going to be wicked. That's why they're going to ultimately be delivered. So then, of course, you got Zechariah 3, verse 2, which I read. So now let me go to Obadiah. And the Apostle Gabar explained that the brand, which is a poker, it's a metal that looks like a spear. Like if you have a fireplace, you take wood and then you break the wood up so that the fire can get into the wood and engulf the wood. So Joseph is going to play the part of the firebrand or the poker. And remember, the poker doesn't get burned, even if it's in the fire. So now I went to Obadiah 1:18, and it says, it speaks about. Matter of fact, let me do this. Okay, so it is Obadiah 1, verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire. Now, the house of Jacob represents the kingdom of Judah, but it also represents all of Israel. But in this context, Jacob, the house of Jacob, is talking about the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph, which represents the rest of the tribes or the northern kingdom. That's why it's written in this manner. Jacob at this point represents the kingdom of Judah. Joseph represents the northern kingdom working together. And this is going to happen in the kingdom when we do away with Esau. So it says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. And the house of Esau for stubble. So there's wood there. When you burn fire in the fireplace, you have to have logs of wood. So that's Esau. And you're going to heat the house with those logs, pieces of wood, and you're going to have the poke it to open it up so the flames could get in the midst of the wood. Because you got to break, because it's if you got a big log that fire, it takes a while for the fire to get and go into the block. So you got to break it open, so to speak. So, you know, the two kingdoms are going to come together and they're going to both kick Esau's ass, even to the point of at the end of this thing, they're going to exterminate them. And this is what this is talking about: extermination day, liquidation day, and you are going to be utterly destroyed. Now I don't know what this Most High going to do with your spirits, but I'm not concerned. It's in the house of Esau for stubble. When you take a log or a piece of wood and you burn it until it can't be burnt no more, what's left? Stubble. And what do you do with the stubble? You sweep it away. You don't use anything for stubble, you sweep it away. It says, and they shall kindle in them and devour. Devour means to eat up. And I guarantee you that word, I could be wrong. The word devour is probably hamakal, which means from eat. Devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, which are the Edomites, for Yahawah have spoken it. So when is this going to take place? The time that will come when we say we're going, okay, now we're going to do away with Esau, and we're going to do away with him by fire. And two kingdoms are going to be together at that time. When the kingdom comes, the two kingdoms are going to be together as one nation. So now let me come back up here. So now this is the word for flame, and Joseph, a flame. The word is lahaba, which is the feminine form of saying lahab. It says, and meaning the same. So lahaba and lahab means the same. Lahab also means blaze. But it says a poker. So the fire is going to come from Jacob, but the poking stick is going to come from the other tribe. So we're going to work together in tandem. So it says, King James Translation Strong's H3852, in the following manner: flame, flaming head, flame, tip of weapon, point, head of spear. So a tip of a spear is not on fire, but it's sharp. So what are they describing here? It's describing a poker. Here it is again. And meaning the same: flame or flaming head of a spear. Because who's going to break the wood up so the fire could get in there? Now, what I did was this. Let me bring this back. And this is clearly written in poetic talk. Okay, so we got Obadiah 118. I'll read it again, then I'm going to read it in the NLT. We've been reading a lot in the NLT. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahawah has spoken it. So that's genocide by way of fire. So now this is what I did. Let me do this. I'm gonna go NLT. And this is why this man, Rawchaa Malone, is working so hard against us bringing this truth out, because he knows what's going to happen to the Edomites, and he's hoping like hell he's not one. Now his mother's a Siciliano, and his father's a German. But I told him, I said, you could be an Israelite. You may be an Israelite, you may not be an Israelite. If you're an Israelite, then you're good. You're just a wicked Israelite that's going to die on this side, and you come back. And you might come back in one of the brothers, if you're an Israelite. Because the people what made Germany great was Jake. Because when Esau got into power, what they did was they pushed out as many Jakes as they can out of Germany. All the greatness of Jake coming back from the medieval times, that was Jake all up in there. They show you that in the book Nature Knows No Color Line. And you had Jake, you had the coats of arms and the crest and so forth. That covered all the European areas. So Jake was ruling it. So the only thing you can hope for is that your father's father goes back to a Jake. That's the only thing you can hope for. So now you became a prisoner of hope. So now I'm going to read this in the NLT and then I'm going to close. Obadiah 1:18. The people of Israel, which are, instead of them mentioning Jacob and Joseph, they're just saying the people of Israel, because Jacob and Joseph, Judah, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom make up Israel. It says the people of Israel, or Yasharahla, will be a raging fire. And Edom, the Edomites, a field of dry stubble. That's after the fire's totally burnt out. What's left is stubble, so you cast out the stubble. Listen at this. That's showing you that we are the Israelites that's going to do it. So this is not talking about what our forefathers are going to do. Like you have Christians that don't believe in the Apocrypha, but they'll go to what is it? Either it's First Ezra 5 or Second Ezra 5. But I know it's one of the fifth chapter, either First or Second Ezra, where Judas Maccabees and the rest of them Israelites that were fighting. It says that they came against the Edomites and they burnt them, they killed them, slaughtered them. And when they went up in the towers, they left them in the towers and they burnt them in the towers. You can read that account. Like I said, it's either in First Maccabees 5 or Second Maccabees 5. I can easily, matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? So I can be sure. I'm more so thinking that it's in, let me do this. I'm more so thinking that it's Second Maccabees 5. Come on, man. But anyway, just take my word for it or read it for yourself. So they'll say, well, the fulfillment of this is during the time of the Maccabees. Well, how can it be during the time of the Maccabees when the only kingdom that was dealing with the Greeks, Antiochus Epiphanes, was the kingdom of Judah, which was the southern kingdom, which was the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. The northern kingdom had went to the Americas, to the other side of the world, the uttermost side of the earth. Matter of fact, it came up, so let me see if I can get it. Bear with me for a minute. So it says, okay, here it comes. Come on now. Okay, just forget about it. Okay, so this is back in the NLT. Forgive me. It says, the people of Israel will be a raging fire, and Edom, the Edomites, a field of dry stubble. This is yet to happen. The descendants of Joseph will be a flame. What does it mean by descendants? The children. So we're going to get these Edomites back for what they did to our forefathers during that time period, during the time of the Babylonian, when the Babylonian besieged Jerusalem. It said the descendants of Joseph, and therefore the descendants of Jacob or Judah, will be a flame, and that the word flame, when you look it up, it's a poker, so you can understand. It's the tip at the end of a spear. Roaring across the field, devouring or eating up, hamakal, everything there will be no survivors in Edom, or could be of Edom. I, Yahawah, have spoken. So the Most High said it. So if he's saying it, then what does it mean? Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. I already know what's gonna happen. That's if I can. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I had to cut down these tabs. Man, I got a bad habit. I wanted to go to the commentary. If I can find the commentary. Okay, here we go. This is why vocab don't accept the apocrypha. He says that canon is not a. There's a term called Texas Receptus. They don't honor it as divine writing, so to speak. Well, it is a divine writing. It's part of the scriptures. It's part of the original King James. Come on now. Anyway, if you go to the commentary, it'll tell you that. It'll mention the account with the Maccabees destroying the Edomites. Anyway, I'm not going to mess with it. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say, wait a minute. I'm going to say Shalom.